Present the petitioner.
Kindly grant a week's time in this matter.
Home food.
Section 30 of the Presents Act.
Hey, what happened? The magistrate has rejected it.
He
Is it?
rejected this app.
Kindly grant a week's time in this matter.
Home food.
Section 30 of the Presents Act.
Hey, what happened? The magistrate has rejected it. Is
He
it?
rejected this app. But the
SP.
provision relating to an under trial now for home cooked food, according to me, is governed by Section 30 of the Presents Act. That's how.
ಕೊಡಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಮೇಡಮ್?
Presents Act, the Presents Act.
Presents Act.
Karnataka Presents Act.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ಓದಿ.
No, I'll just pass. You're right. Court
ಅಲ್ಲ,
of
ನೋಡ್ರ ನೀವು ಓದ್ಬಿಡಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
maintenance.
ಇದೆ.
ಕೊಡಿ.
Yes.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಿ.
Maintenance of certain prisoners from private sources. A civil prisoner or an unconvicted criminal prisoner shall be permitted to maintain himself and to purchase or receive from private sources at proper hours food, clothing, bedding, or writing materials, books, newspapers, or other necessaries, subject to examination to such regulations as may be approved by the Inspector General. But this should have covered the issue. The learned magistrate not relies upon the manual. But in fact, if I can request lordships to kindly peruse the order of the learned magistrate, he relies upon a manual which is not, of course, Murat, issued pursuant to this provisions of the Rules Act.
What is maintainability issue?
Although they say, Murat, 226, 227, 482 we have filed. The reason is not, we also invoked Article 21 we said. Therefore, 226 is involved. The office says.
It's not a 482?
No, read with 482 because the order of the learned magistrate.
All right.
Now, what the learned magistrate note does is he relies upon a rule, Murat, which is under the manual, which is not statutory in nature strictly. May I request lordships to kindly see page 33, internal page 15. He quotes Rule 728, not set there,
Yes.
para 21. Under trial prisoners other than those for murder shall be permitted to retain their own clothing, bedding, footwear, and eating and drinking vessels, not food. Eating and drinking vessels like plates, spoons, cups, and religious emblems. This is the manual, but it obviously can't run counter to the statute. He also relies upon words. That clause 301 diet chart prescribed under the correctional manual. But this correctional manual, which has been issued by the state government, are basically executive instructions for the purpose of proper conduct of the presence inside. Now that if lordships are to see the correctional manual, presence and correctional services manual.
That's in the book. ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅದು ಕೊಡಿ ಗಂಟೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ ಕೊಡಿ. Yes, sir.
Here, Lord, they rely upon Rule 318, scale of diet.
Scale of diet.
Scale of diet. This is what he relies on. Chapter 21, Rule 318 onwards. This is all, my lords, where you are unable to get it from your private sources and then you ask the jail authorities, number one. Number two, my lords, the rules and the act make difference distinction between a convicted prisoner and an under trial prisoner and a habitual offender, etc. Section 30, my lords, to my mind, subject to what lordships will say, treats an under trial prisoner separately and prescribes that it is open for him to seek private sources. Subject, of course, to the examination and regulation by the Superintendent of Jails. This is how, my lords, the entire case is, my lords, filed before your lordships. He had made some representation, petitioner before this Superintendent of Jail authorities. He was also examined by the doctor and he has given a certificate.
Where?
Yes, ma'am. That is, that certificate, that contents of that has been extracted by the learned magistrate.
The learned
At-
magistrate says,
Yes.
nowhere the doctor says he's in need of,
No, I'll just point out.
that's what I see.
You know, at
here.
page 12, internal page 12,
I am there, paragraph 16,
is, that is paragraph 16, last sentence.
generalized weakness.
No, I'll just, no, what the medical officer says is, my lord, he certainly requires nutritious diet. No, my lord, he says that.
Sir,
at page-
every under trial,
Yes,
every citizen
Yes.
requires nutritious
no,
diet.
he died. He certainly requires. But here,
Clearly because a prisoner is poor, rich, influential, non-influential,
True, true.
actor, whoever it is.
no, certainly not.
He is ultimately an under trial.
No, I am not for a moment suggesting anything, my lord, that the status or the background of the under
No,
trial.
sir,
prisoner should be-
ultimately, if he is in such need that his health is so deteriorating.
Yes.
That it would definitely need special diet.
Yes,
Special-
yes.
Doctors are there, they will prescribe
No, but
and
this is
special
what
diet
I-
will be given.
No, this is what I wanted to.
No, it is not Darshan or someone else
Yes.
that is involved. Saying every under trial, everybody will ask.
True, true.
Why everybody should be denied? Everybody will want,
But
would
I
want
am,
nutritious
of
food.
course, not. This is something, my lord, is a question, my lord, which
No,
certainly can come to anyone's mind. But what I want to submit before your lordships is this.
no, how can we make such
No,
distinction?
distinction is only this much. My respectful submission to your lordships is.
Why everybody else who are under trial prisoners are also citizens, sir. They are also facing.
No,
the same
certainly,
charge.
but I'm not for a moment saying anything.
Yes.
I'm not for a moment. The Act, my lords, makes a distinction between an under trial prisoner and a convicted.
That's
prisoner.
all. Convicted prisoner, under trial prisoner.
True.
Ishte distinction. act
Distinction
alone.
ಮಾಡಿ, my lord. Then section 30, which I have just brought before your lordship's notice, does say that, my lords, it would be open for him to secure food from private sources. That is, my lords, is section 30.
Manual denies it.
Manual does not deny expressly, it does not expressly deny. It speaks of a dietary chart. Obviously, my lord, it has to be, it cannot be read my lords, contrary to the provisions of the act. It has to
No,
be read
it-
in harmoniously.
It may be that you are still an accused. You're not a convicted prisoner. You're an under trial prisoner. All right, but there are scores and scores of under trial prisoners who may even need better diet.
No, certainly, my lord. I would only put it across in this manner. I am today, my lords, have more than a right, made a request. This is a request which was made to the authorities.
True.
Now that it came to be contested, my lord, we have brought to the notice of lordship's notice, section 30. It continues to be as a request even now, my lords. And my lord, the medical superintendent does indicate that there is some physical difficulty he is facing and he
No,
requires.
that's what is I've seen this. What
ಅದನ್ನ
is-
ಅವರು clarity,
ಇಲ್ಲ, what is indicated is general weakness.
gender, bed rest and nutritious diet. And that is something, Lord, which I thought I'll appeal to your lordships, my lords. But if they can explain that, my lords, and provide whatever is required to him, lords.
No, what is
subject to-
required according to the doctor's advice, they will give. They don't deny any prisoner, be it you, be it somebody else. No,
If somebody is
So
to,
merely because
no, merely that,
uh,
Lord, I'll for a moment.
celebrity is in the prison.
No, I am not, no, not lordships may.
Yes.
Lord, I do not know whether it is an advantage or a disadvantage today. I do not want to say anything more on that, Lord. Whether actually
No,
that has
anybody-
become a
see,
disadvantage today.
It
being
is not, can't help. See, it is not that every citizen, every prisoner who comes
But he
before the
should also
court
be
would
treated
get,
like that.
unless his condition is so deteriorating. He is in a dilapidated condition completely where he
May I
cannot
make one
sustain.
request, Lordships may kindly permit me to, Lordships may kindly consider this.
Yes.
In the light of this.
30 I will answer.
No,
I will
no,
definitely
no,
answer.
no, that's, in the light of this certificate which has been issued,
Which certificate?
that same lot, which I referred to page,
Which-
where he's page, internal page 12.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ
Internal
ಹತ್ರ?
page 12, no, the certificate, Lords, is not there.
Yes, what is the
He has
certificate?
referred to that certificate must be with the learned public prosecutor.
I just not.
ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು?
Certificate ಇದೆ. The first one.
No, this Lordships will get it
two.
at page at 111.
First ಅಲ್ಲಿ there is, the hospital say there is no food poisoning.
111.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು certificate. ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿದೆ.
111.
There is one more.
111.
Yes.
But there is one more certificate. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ
ಒಂದೇ
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು
ನಿಮಿಷ. Senior.
Well, 111 is during the time when he was staying. Last impression.
Currently is under treatment for severe back
Back
pain.
pain and viral fever. with
Viral
generalized-
fever,
He has been
generalized
advised to
weakness.
continue medication supervision, bed rest and nutritious treatment. I only want to make this request.
Viral fever ಏನಿದೆ?
But Lordships may,
Right.
all that I am requesting at this stage is, if they can consider this aspect at least. In consultation with the doctor to find out what is that he is, because this is, he does say that he requires a different diet. Insofar as that is concerned. They can consider that Lords, to begin, but I would, thereafter,
Yes.
Lords, if required, I will
That-
argue on that.
That will, others also should get this.
No, Lords, I,
Same
put-
treatment.
no, I'll put it across in this.
Unless
But
the
I don't know
certificate
whether-
of the doctor says, yes, it is to be like this.
No, I don't know whether others sometimes ask and they are provided with, I don't
No,
know.
that we don't.
That's, I
That
don't
I am
know
not
Lords,
saying.
whether
ಅದು
sometimes
only Sirajuddin will know. Yes.
they must be in a position to tell
Huh.
whether such requests when made. Lords, in what
ಇದು
way-
ನೋಡಿ, this is the second one, 16/7/2024.
Please.
ಅದು ಕೊಡಿ ಅವ್ರು.
Please. It's no food poisoning is what they said. Yes,
Why, food is not good, is it?
ಅಲ್ಲ, food poisoning ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ,
certificate.
ನೀವು
affidavit.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ Sirajuddin was convict prisoners, not under trial. He was telling food is so bad. ಈ ರಾಗಿ ಮುದ್ದೆ ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ,
It's
now,
all-
now this manual, my lord, is by virtue of the directions of the Supreme Court, this fresh manual, the new manual is issued. My lord, your lordship in the preamble would see.
Hmm.
This is a correctional service manual. Kindly see the preamble, my lord.
May I just pass on?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈ
Pursuant to the
ಅಲ್ಲ,
direction,
ಅದಲ್ಲ, manual ಇದೆ.
manual.
senior has given it.
no, I've just passed. No, I've only given the relevant extracts. It does not contain. the entire-
Manual ಕೊಡಿ.
So therefore, now the standards set are very high. Kindly see that.
Even for the diet?
Yes, yes, but dietary is also included. Kindly see the second page, my lord. Sarkari Adesha dated 7/1/2022.
7/1/22.
Yes, kindly see them, reference to writ petition 406/2013.
Yes.
Yes. There are certain guidelines and directions issued to the state governments. And therefore, this was brought into force. This manual was brought into force in the year 2020.
Hmm.
It is not that, it is not in consonance with the act.
Hmm.
So therefore, a learned friend cannot say that it cannot
Right,
be.
not in consonance with the act.
No, that's what he said, manual, law, it
Really?
overrides,
No,
act
no,
overrides.
that
Yes.
we will answer.
Apart
Yes.
from that, my lord,
Hmm.
now section 30 says, to such regulations as may be approved by the Inspector General. Now, there are two requests pending before the Inspector General. We will consider that. That's all. Now, this petition under
I-
482
Alala,
also may not be
alala,
maintainable.
I'll just put it across in this. part. And I hope Lordships will consider this reasonable, my request. Since now Mr. Public Prosecutor Leonard SPP says that they'll consider it. My request is Lordships may defer this matter by a week's time. If they are,
Yes.
if they are to consider, we will not press the petition. In case there is something difficult, I'll trouble your lordships with
No, if,
one small
uh,
argument.
if it needs interpretation, we will interpret.
Only if required.
Section 30 of the Presence Act
Yes.
does not indicate the procedure. It yes says it can be, but how is it to be regulated is only under the
Very well.
manual by way of guidelines.
Very well.
That is a statutorily accepted
Nano-
principle
Lord, I will assist you.
of,
I'll assist your lordships.
regulating that.
I will assist your lordships as to what could possibly be one interpretation.
That's all right.
Auru, but if, I'm sure, my lords, that they will be more humane towards me, more not retributive.
No, not,
No, no, I will, no,
why
I'm just-
towards, why
no, no.
towards you? They
No,
should
I'm
be
only-
human
no,
towards
no, let
every
them be
prisoner.
with
sir.
everybody. No, I'm
Sir,
just saying, they let them
not-
be with everybody. I have come, no, all the time, I'm asking it as I have made a request. Now that they have said that, I'm sure, my lord, they will be more empathetic, more
We
humane.
will not come in the way of their consideration.
If they,
But you want an interpretation? I will.
that, my
definitely-
lords, if only required, my lord, I'll argue before.
Kindly, when I've done 2 weeks' time, in the meanwhile, we'll pass orders.
You-
Orders, alla.
Orders are
They have to give food to me. I don't want orders from them.
ಅಲ್ಲ 2 ವಾರ ಫುಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ
If
ಅದಿಲ್ಲ.
they can, if they can give food along with the order,
ಅಲ್ಲ
it's fine.
ಆ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Let them consider, but my only request is, let them consider it objectively, justly,
Yes.
in consultation with the.
Sir,
medical-
What is the court going to do?
Sir,
with concern,
in
only
cons-
one request.
Yes, sir.
In consultation with the medical officer, let them consider it objectively as a person, my lord, who requires. Adadmele, certainly, my lords, if they feel that it is not required, etc. If required, I'll argue, if not, match could be resolved.
Yes.
But what have the other
ಅಲ್ಲ,
under
ಅದನ್ನ
trials done?
ಈಗ ಅದು
They
ಏನಾಗಿದೆ-
also will-
ಇಲ್ಲ, lords, insofar as this is concerned, but I will just.
Well,
bring to
let
lord-
them consider. If you
Well,
want
no, I
this court
had-
to answer,
But I had an.
it will be creating a divide between
No, certainly.
rich, the poor,
there-
celebrity,
there- no, no, no,
ordinary
but
man.
no, I'll just bring to lords. It is not for the first time, but I'm just bringing to lords. It is not for the first time.
Instances ಕೊಡಿ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿದೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, but I can certainly give instances. It is not for the first
If
time.
celebrities are given.
Not celebrity, not lordships may, sorry, please do not call me a celebrity. But I am today facing a very serious charge, and I have come before your lordships as someone who wants to, I use the word in the writ petition, centennial queue. Lordships are the repository of exposition of fundamental rights. And whenever an interpretation is called, it is expansion of the fundamental right and not curtailment. Here is a human being, my lord, I'm not a celebrity, I'm a human being who feels bodily requires some certain amount of food. He's made a request. And I don't think, my lord, that cannot be counted out of Article 21. Therefore, my lord, in
Well,
fact, my lords, I just wanted to bring to lordships notice the
No.
concern of the courts always to under trial prisoners or to convicted prisoners. When COVID hit, my lord, lordships are aware, the first suo motu proceedings initiated by the Honorable Supreme Court was as how should the prisoners be segregated because of COVID. The concern of the court was not for people like outside, people like us, but for the persons who were inside the prison. In Lordship Justice Bobde's headed bench, my lord, we gave number of
Even
directions.
this court, sir.
This
is
court, Lord,
works of this also.
Thereafter, my lord, the Honorable Chief Justice here, my lord, there were some directions to the High Court. What I'm ultimately trying to bring to Lordship's notice is, it is not a case where I have the media catches up it, apart from those things.
I'm
No,
not-
no, I'm just,
We are
just.
not, sir, the court does not worry about.
No,
what
not the
what
court,
the
no.
media says. I am only telling, if you are asking, somebody
No,
else
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ-
also is
no,
entitled.
Therefore, my lord, I have one request.
Why rich?
Alla,
poor
in fact,
divide
my lords,
this?
lordships may consider this case to see if section,
We'll answer
if
that.
section, no, not that. If section 30 provides for it, and if any of them ask for it, are the jail authorities unreasonably denying it is something, Lord, on the contrary, lordships may have to ask them. The reason is this, Lord, it is not for the first time, Lord, that kind of requests are made. Number of requests are made for food, either because on account of health issues or on account of various other reasons. I'm sure, my lord, section 30 was envisaged for such purposes. To not to ensure that suddenly treat them as part of convicted prisoners. One uddesham object in they have put that across. That is something that I would request lordships to kindly interpret if required. But if they are to grant this, then we will.
Enter. Whatever they are saying, they will
Yes,
consider.
no, what if they were to grant our request, then that question wouldn't arise.
All right. Yes, I will record that.
Please.
Heard the learned senior counsel.
The apprehension that what others will ask is something, my lord, which
No, I'm not saying.
occurred to my mind.
No,
also.
no. I'm not saying others will ask, so I am not denying.
No. What happens?
No,
How
no.
can there be a distinction?
No,
But I
no.
completely agree with
No,
lordship.
you
But I-
mistook my statement. I said, because if it is granted to you,
One
others will
person,
ask,
yes, that's,
no,
that is.
I'm
true.
not saying that. Why should it not be granted to
Correct,
others?
that is a.
No,
that
no,
is-
others, if it is to be granted to
How-
you, why this divide between the rich prisoner, poor prisoner, influential prisoner, political prisoner?
That will not happen. my lord.
They are all under trial
No,
prisoners.
therefore, my lord, the object, if lordships have to see section 30, it is very carefully worded. What it says is, my lord, say, permit me to
Yes,
just say one sentence. It says, if you are unable to source it from private resources, the burden is then on the state to provide for the under trial prisoners. That's how that.
no, that they, if it,
Therefore, my lord, if
sir, if it is needed,
our public, Mr. Beliappa must also bring to lordship's notice that if, whether there have been any other such requests earlier and whether they have entertained it, if there have been precedents,
he will
let them
produce-
also state that.
Yes.
My immediate recall goes to the Delhi Chief Minister, Lords, it became actually controversial. He asked for so many sweets, his sugar level went up and there was allegation. But it is a case where, Lords, they do source private food, Lords, from home.
Yes.
That was, that has been
Yes.
there.
or consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಿ.
Madly, please.
Next, G and G1.
Heard the learned senior counsel, the Prabhulinga Navadgi appearing for the petitioner. The petitioner,
Notice.
ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Yes.
Yes. The, first time ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ. The learned SPP 1 accepts notice for the first, for the, all the respondent,
First and second, not you.
first and 1 and 2. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು SHO,
But I accept notice for third,
counsel, Sri P. Prasanna Kumar, special counsel,
please.
special counsel, Sri Prasanna Kumar accepts notice for the third respondent. Registry to print the names of the counsels. The petitioner is before this court calling in question an order dated 25/7/2024 by which the learned magistrate rejects the application of the petitioner filed under section 30 of the Karnataka Prisons Act for procuring home cooked food, bedding and other requests as made in the application so filed before the concerned court. The learned senior counsel would submit that the concerned court has fallen in error by relying on section, has erroneously interpreted section 7 by placing reliance upon the Karnataka Prisons and Correctional Services Manual. It is a submission that the Prisons Act would override the manual of the kind that is now placed reliance on by the concerned court. The learned counsel, the learned additional, learned SPP 1 at this juncture would submit that he has given representations seeking the very same relief, and the orders would be passed on the representations if 10 days time is granted. Orders, 10 days time is granted. The issue needing an answer, the issue that is projected by the learned senior counsel needs an answer. Therefore, the matter is kept pending for the state to, for the respondents to consider the representation of the petitioner in accordance with law and place it before the court on the next date. ಬೇರೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ? Date I will give, yes. Yes, sir. 19th. 19th in the fresh matters list. Office objections to be complied with in the meantime. Objections ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದ. ಯಾವ್ದು? Objections que maintainability stands overruled. List the matter on 19th in the fresh matters list. 19th or 20th in the fresh matters list. 19th 400 500. Yes. Next day, 20th in the fresh matters list. On merits, I have not said anything. We'll answer it later. When you pass an order, if necessary, we'll answer, as you said. We'll see. Well, definitely. That's all right. Yes.